Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand out of this practice how we can change our inner behavior. And at the same time, how we can develop our conventional life, and out of that development, how we gain our spiritual success. So it is important for yourself every day to become very clear with what you practice. It is not about just collecting more and more and more informations or ideas. It's about how we purify ourselves and brush up and clean and become master within that what we know. So then when it comes to our breathing, observing inhalation, exhalation, there is nothing that you can gain more from outside. So the inhalation, exhalation in front of you, it is within yourself. But can you experience it more clearly, better than yesterday? Can you see it without any disturbances? And at the same time, when you see inhalation, exhalation, how you know, are you seeing it exactly the way it happens, or is there anything else that created by the mind? So like that, it's important yourself to become very clear within your own practice. For that, we bring more and more different ideas, thoughts, and we open different windows to understand it very clearly. This all about our own mind. Nothing that can help from us from the outside. So there were a group of children used to play in a village. And next to that village, there was a temple. It's kind of like a mountain area. In the top of the mountain, there was a temple. In that temple, there was a monk. So this monk had some kind of psychic powers to see about other people. And children knew this. So one day, these children thought, let's go and play with him and try to beat him, kind of like prove that he's wrong. To do that, what they thought. So they catch a butterfly. And then one guy hold it and close it in his hand. And this is what they're going to do. So let's go to the monk and ask what is inside this. And if he says the butterfly, let's ask, it is dead or alive. So in case if the monk say alive, I squish my hand and kill the butterfly, then it going to die, and that means he's wrong. And if he say it's dead, then we can show it is alive. So then we can prove that he's wrong. So what they did, they took the butterfly and went to the monk. And when they reached to the temple, monk was practice meditation. It's kind of like a stay silence. And when he knew these children coming towards him, he opened the eyes and smiled and asked, so how everything? So then they had a very friendly discussion. And then while that discussion, then the monk asked how I can help. So why you are here? So then the children told, oh, we have a question for you. So can you tell what is in my hand? So the monk just closed his eyes and kind of like get into trance, and then told, oh, it is a butterfly. Oh, everybody was kind of like shocked. He said it exactly. And the next one, that is where the monk going to fail. And then they ask, so it is alive or dead? Then the monk smiled and told, the death or the life in your hand, and you are the one who can decide about it. So this is the story about us. This is all about our life in our hand. But sometimes we don't see it. We try to demand, command, depend on others' opinions, and we try to go with others' ideas. But sometimes we don't see. It is us. So bringing this clarity to yourself is the important thing. But when situations happen in day-to-day life, we always get tangled, and we hold it to memory, and we go with the habitual patterns, and it's not easy. And the repetition of thoughts and the repetition of actions and repetition of all the day-to-day life, and the culture, tradition, believing system, following system, and others' opinions. So those are kind of like maintain our life. So we have to deal with this all. But at the same time, when it comes to the very truth about life, that all depend on according to our own understanding. So this is what in Buddhism called the panya, or the wisdom. So the panya or the wisdom is different person to person. Even though it is about the nature, even though it is about the very mechanism of body and mind, the capacity of understanding about it can change according to the purity of our mind. So that's why purify yourself, your own thoughts can change your understanding. So the panya here means, the wisdom here means not just the knowledge that we gain about something, that's also important, but there is something else. What is that? So that is about our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, the perception. So when something comes to your eye, when you experience something that you see, it's kind of like you seeing it. There's a picture. But that picture, that what you experience is not what is outside. So that picture that you see is a very the production of this entire nerve system and your eye and the eye consciousness and everything. So then what you see, even though it is a same object, sometimes person to person, it can be little bit different. So as example, even though you see this as a bottle of water, and as object, of course, we all know what is the meaning of bottle of water. But when it comes to very personal experience, who knows what other person experience or see? How you know that the other person also exactly see that what you recognize within yourself? So for objects, it's okay sometimes. But how about when it comes to ideas? When it comes to our day-to-day life experience, when it comes to informations, sometimes without object, we have to understand it. So then how we know exactly that other person? Understand it clearly, exactly the way that you explain, exactly the way that you know about it. So sometimes it is very difficult. But most of time what happens, we become very limited to our own experience with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. And that is where we build up our own life. So when it comes to your name and form, that all build up out of that your personal experience. So then what happened, that experience itself going to take you to another level of imagination. So that imagination, it's a kind of like an invitation for your tomorrow. So that invitation not going to happen alone itself. It has more and more some other things around it, waiting to help for that. So then whatever you experience tomorrow, not going to happen just because your imagination, that imagination has an ability to invite for many other things, maybe which you don't know about it. So as example, you have a friend. Maybe you invite for that friend. And then maybe you know only that one friend. So then what happened? That friend has another friend. So then kind of like your invitation is become a kind of like an invitation to that unknown person also. Maybe your other friend asks, oh, I have another visitor. I have another friend. Can I bring him or her? See that sometimes you say, yeah, it's okay, bring. But who knows what is that person? But still, just imagine our imagination the same regarding life. But we don't see that beyond that imagination or beyond that objects that we build up inside us. So that is how life go step by step, step by step. So it is not a completely independent something, and it is not a kind of like a same thing that you have within yourself. So what you have today and has the ability to bring something tomorrow, but it's not going to be the same. if it is the same, the life not going to become different. But if it is different, then you no need to worry about it. But it's not like that. So your own thoughts, your own abilities, your own greed, hatred, or the delusion has an ability to bring things. Maybe it has ability to bring something which you don't know, which you kind of like never experienced. It's kind of like a very brand new something. So that's the ability of your own mind. It has ability to bring new things. But the thing is that sometimes when that new things come to us, we get mesmerized about it. And then we think, oh, my imagination is work. But your imagination is work. Still, you are trapped in that imagination. You can't be free from imagination. You can't be free from that having desires. You can't be free from tomorrow. You can't be free from reactions or the result. So that is what itself our life. But there is a way. Once you become more clear with your own mind, there is a way that you can change the reactions or the result that keep coming towards you. There is a way that you can stop whatever waiting for you. So that is an ability. That is a skill. So that skill developed in a very conventional life. We have that ability. So we think kind of like being disciplined. That's a very conventional level. And sometimes we appreciate being disciplined. And sometimes, and people know it has a more strength and opportunities for yourself to become a better person. But when it comes to spiritual life, when it comes to Buddha's teaching, you have to remember being disciplined is very necessary, but itself not going to take you out of problems or the situation or the samsara. So conventional level of discipline will help for you to maintain a very good, clear life. But that doesn't mean that all the difficulties or the conditions going to go away. And that doesn't mean you can be disciplined, but that doesn't mean you get out of this samsara. So sometimes when children behave the way you want, you say, oh, this child is a good child. But if you know the very nature of the mind, it can be a very dangerous child also. Why? Because maybe it's look very disciplined, but who knows what is keep planning inside. So just holding something or not doing something or stay away from something doesn't mean it's really good for all of us. But what the Buddha taught here, there is another way that you can be disciplined. When you go into the deeper into yourself and within your own form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition, and within your experience of that with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So in that very level of the moment of experience has ability to bring the clarity to yourself to stay with it or not to react to it, or and recognizing that what you experience is not permanent within yourself. So that deeper understanding will take you away from deeply towards the whatever the moment that you experience. So that is a different way of discipline. So rather than stay away, resisting from these outside things, if you're capable to be disciplined within yourself, deeper inside you, and that is where you get untangled. That is where you gain the true freedom. So then, it's rather than holding something, uprooting deeply the desires is the best way to discipline. So that is what you have to practice. Because otherwise, sometimes stay away from something, not doing something, and maybe it makes us very comfortable, but it's not going to be forever or last long, or it may, when the situation change, you get disappointed and you get mad, you get unhappy. So then, always you have to remember, so what you experience with your eye is not belong to you. That is where you have to start, not about the outside. So what you experience within you, what you see is not belong to you. Once you have that understanding, it will help you to release from that. And at the same time with your ear, what you experience within your ear, that experience, not the sound or the picture that you build up regarding the outside things. No, the very inner experience is not belong to you. So whatever that feelings is not belong to you. Whatever the picture that you develop, the form that you have is not belong to you. Or the volition or mental formations is not belong to you. Or the perception that build up inside you is not belong to you. And even the recognition arise in you is not belong to you. So now what happens? We recognize, oh, this is me, this is how I believe, this is how I experience, this is my life, and this is what in the outside world, and try to stay away from that, whatever disturb for me. So then in that way of discipline, what happens? More and more you build up your self-centered, egocentric mindset. And then you build up more and more your samsara. And you build up more and more your own journey towards tomorrow. But in that way, there's no way that you can escape from this all, or there is no end in this samsara, which we call the nibbana. So then, the real nibbana means not something that you stay away from the outside things and you go into deeper and recognize within your form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition that what you experience is not belong to any self, or not belong to permanent things, or not belong to what we call I am. That all happen as a result of something. So if you hold it to that experience, step by step, it will help you to become free from inside you. And that freedom make you more relaxed and comfortable and free. And at the same time, that freedom allow you to become more and more clear. So what happens when you have ability to see that what you experience with your eye is not belong to you? What happens? That your eye, the process of this whole nerve system release. Why? As you know, we have this, everything work according to the nerve system, sympathetic nerve system and parasympathetic nerve system. So this both work automatically, naturally. Only the breathing is the language for your body. So then what happens in your lungs, there's a connection to your brain. So when the thought patterns become more busy, it affects for your lungs. And once it affects for your lungs, it affects for your breathing. So once it affects for your breathing, what happens? It affects for your, through the lungs and through the breathing and through the spine, there is a nerve system to go towards entire your body. And in the middle of the nerves, your spine, there is a little tiny, it's kind of like a thread. It's a little space, which we call the susumna. So that is where the air pushed to the brain. So that is where the brain get all the air. So what happened when the lungs become so tight or the busy with the brain, this air circular system break down. And then what happens? Once when you see something, hear something, smell, taste, or feel something, or even with the thoughts, when you become busy, tangle, or when there's doubt, or when there's a fear arise, this system not become free and it break down the pattern, and then you don't get enough oxygen to your brain. And then again it affect for the lungs. And then so like that way, it go like a circle and break down the pattern. So because of that, what happens, when you see when you start to see something through your eye, your recognition not going to become clear. So whatever the sound, it's not going to become clear. So when your eye, when the eye itself not become clear, what happens? Then you need help. From where you get the help? You get the help from your own memory, mental formations, or the thoughts. From where? From your past. So in the moment of experience not become clear, what happened? You start to jump backward and bring the information from your past and try to recognize it. That's what happened. And then out of that analytical method, whatever you understand is not real. Why? Because your system depends from your past. That means memory. Once it become a pattern, again and again, again and again, again and again, once you become comfortable with that, it is very difficult to break that pattern down. So this is what happened. This is what itself called life. We are so comfortable with our own memory. We are so comfortable with our own thoughts. We are so comfortable with our own imagination. We are so comfortable with our fear. We are so comfortable with our unsatisfaction. We are so comfortable with our miseries. So then again and again, again and again, we live with it. We bring it back. So when you repeat it, what happened? It becomes stronger. So that is what itself build up this life. So then what you need to do? Bring the awareness, develop the clarity, be in the moment, and do your best to recognize what you experience in the moment without bringing help from your past. So that is where your practice is important. You don't jump to your past, your imagination, you stay again and again. So for that, you need some kind of practice. So we bring that out of primary mental object. So we give a conscious decision to be with something related to the present moment. So maybe the sensation or the body or the breathing. So some kind of mental object and be with it. And when the mind goes somewhere else, we bring it back. So again and again, when you are capable to develop that ability, so by the time what happened? So mind start to settle down and it become free from the busyness. It's not going to go here and there and jumping with many other things. So then in that very level, whatever you experience with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, it becomes clear. So that clarity, it's another way we call direct perception. So then there's an ability within your eye, whatever come to it, you can recognize it as it is. To ear, you can recognize it as it is. So the nose, tongue, body, mind, the same. So that is what you need in the very first level. And through that we develop, to get into that, we develop tranquility meditation. And from there, and after that, now you have enough wisdom to see within your own experience. And that is where you develop the critical analytical understanding, which we call the vipassana. So in that way, you recognize object and subject all change moment by moment within your own form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition. This is nothing to do with the outside. It is completely this inner process. Once you understand that, that understanding itself liberates you from your inner experience. And then you're not going to label your experience as I am. That is where everything going to be in that place. So whatever you experience, keep it there. Don't take it to the next moment. You can do it. What you experience with your eye, let it be in the eye. Ear, let it be in the ear. Nose, let it be. Tongue, let it be. In the body, let it be. In the mind, let it be. In the very next moment, don't take it there. So in that way, you will experience each and every moment. There is something to experience. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. So when it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. So expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ettavata cha mihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi. Addhaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paripunjissami. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.